Hello. Okay, and it says it is live. What'd you say, Margaret? Oh, door's open. Okay, now it is Wednesday, so that means it is New World Project. I think where we left off last time, we were thinking about the Romanization of the language. So, let's see. Romanization shouldn't be too difficult. Okay, delete that. So how many consonants do we have? We have 18 slots. 18 plus 7 is 25. We have 25 consonants. Oh, that's a nice even number. Hi, Winston. Are you attention hungry cat? KIPA romanization. Just Roman. Command C. MP B. Actually, let's do nasals first, including the retroflex there. And then P, B, T, D, retroflex consonants, K, G, K, K, Z, Z, J, J, S, Sh, Sh, H, H, R, R, L, and L. A nice little table. So NN. I think just the dot underneath the retroflex works best. Just DLV. Gee, what are some ways of marking the retroflex consonants in languages? What's so funny? I have a loaf on my stomach. Uh, ooh, yeah. In Swedish and Norwegian languages with retroflex, it's marked with an R. Thank you, Leo. I don't think I've seen you on the channel before. Huh. Does Somali mark it with an H? Ooh, that Osmania alphabet looks pretty cool. Hmm. Well, if you've been looking for linguistic channels, you've come to the right place. They type in chat. Yeah, my sister's next to me playing Minecraft, so you might hear her swearing at a creeper or talking to me every now and then. Uh, yeah. This is fairly... So what I'm doing right now is I'm creating a language for a world I plan to build. I've had this idea in my mind for a world for a few months now, slowly chipping away at it. But now I'm, well, streaming that creation of the world, starting with this language. And if you want to check out the folder I'm doing this in, there's a link in the description. So you can like pop in and look at stuff. What did you... Well, I'll go over what happened last time after I finished typing out the romanization real quick. Okay. So last week I was just introducing the idea of this series, which, as I was mentioning to Leo, is going to be a... You were here last time, okay. So nothing's changed since last Wednesday, aside from adding the romanization. What did I add? So I added a bit, I created a bit of like the history of like where the world's gonna be time-wise and what has happened before it. So again, if you want to read this more in depth, you can go to the folder, to the Google Doc in the description. But basically, there's going to be 5 epochs, where in the 5th epoch, and an event has happened that caused people to gain the ability to ascend to godhood. Thank you. Yes, Margaret, I know. Anyway, I also plan on making this... Don't you love Minecraft AI? So this system's gonna... This world I'm planning on making Pathfinder compatible, so if people want to make this into a Pathfinder campaign, or D&D campaign, or any type of thing, they can just come in and use it, create their own thing based off of it and whatnot. But so I don't know how much of the language people will be using, because this looks like it's going to be a fairly complex language I'm creating, as I always do. Uh, so these are consonants. I should zoom in for you guys. There we go. Um, and then super simple vowel system. So I'm currently creating just kind of the skeleton of the language so I can have names and stuff. So I can start like naming things. But this is going to be the latest stage of the language, at least the language used in the main country of the world, the lingua franca. Lingua franca. So if I might create language families, in which case I'll like use this as a base and then go back in time, undoing possible sound changes that might have happened and whatnot. But currently just focusing on creating the skeleton of the language. Ooh, ooh. Um, and if you have any ideas for like anything to do with this world or language, feel free to leave a suggestion in the comments or in the chat. No. Okay. So actually, I'll go Polish on this one. And use an ogonek, as I just like the way they look. Yeah, it's not just a naming language. I'm just going to start, I'm again creating the bear skeleton to create names at the moment, but it will eventually evolve into much more than just that. Actually, I could do that. Hmm. Oh, no problem. Honestly, questions help me focus on what I should probably do. So, Romanization, fairly straightforward. Just most of the characters are like they are in English, except for C, which follows the German tradition of being a ts, Z, which is a z, and then sometimes it's a affricate, so you have a D in front of it. Z, yeah. Again, similar to how it is in Japanese. And then if something's retroflex, it's marked with a dot. Yeah, so the ogonek did mark nasalization, but in Polish, those became long vowels, if I remember correctly. In one language, they became a mark for long vowels. Uh, oh, an ogonek can be attached to the bottom of a vowel in Old Norse Icelandic to show length of vowel affection. For example, in Old Norse, this marked oh. Huh. Uh, oh. So maybe I was wrong about it being like in Polish. I swear another language had ogonek as vowel length, aside from Old Norse. Huh. Well, the thing to remember about Old Norse is it wasn't really written in the Latin script. In modern days, people use a kind of standardized romanization of it, but it didn't have a Latin script. It used real runes, really. Uh, yeah. Okay. Ah, why doesn't my font use have a K with a dot underneath it? That's What the hell was that? I do know Jackson Crawford. I watched some of his stuff. I've just never really been into Old Norse specifically. Can I not type it out like that? Hmm. Hum diddy hum hum hum. Yeah. I do know a lot about Western Germanic languages, specifically Old English, and about the verbs, but Old Norse has never really been something something I've looked at. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll make a video as an excuse to study it. Okay, let's see. So that's a romanization, phonology. Next, I guess we can continue with the grammar. I mean, to be fair, if you can watch Jackson Crawford, just watch Jackson Crawford. His voice is so nice to listen to. Okay, let's see. So last time, I think it was Maddie who convinced me to do a consonantal root system, which I'm still iffy about, but with how irregular this language will be, makes sense to an extent. Problem is, I just need to find patterns to make documentation a bit easier for me. So, Na, nakten, nakten. Actually, something I could do with romanization is, have I decided which parts? Okay, I'm going to have to talk more about the consonantal harmony. Yes, do not be 15 minutes behind this time, Alex. That is a good plan. Mm, I don't know if I'm going to do language evolution per se as like proper language evolution, or I might do my quick and dirty quick evolution that I've figured out through conning for a while. If a great place to learn about how to conlang is Artifexian and the Bibluridian series. So I highly recommend. Let me just. Well, we could say that nasals have derived through R's next to other consonants, and certain nasals arose through nasalized retroflex, not nasal. Some retroflexes arose through R's next to consonants. So like retroflex T and retroflex D, we could say came from TR, RT, and DR, RD. And then the other retroflexes, like a the retroflex R came through assimilation of just being near another retroflex, like that. And so that gives us some avenue to backstep. Oh yeah, I've seen that too, and I can't wait for his new language series. Oh, you got linguistic. You mean you're going to be majoring in linguistics in college, or is there a specific linguistic school? Because the consonantal pattern is only seen in the modern edition of the language. In older languages, it was a more traditional concatenative root system. So maybe Noctil came from a word like Nakortil. And Nakor, Nakortil was just a root with that things would be appended onto. But over time, as the language shifted and became much less regular, more non-concatenative, yeah. So alveolar and velar turn into retroflex and uvular if they appear in the same word, unless stopped by no. So alveolar and velar turn into retroflex and uvular if they appear in the same word, and vice versa. I'll have to think of a better way to word that in the documentation, but so the retroflexivity of a word is marked on the first retroflex of the root. Yeah, I have no idea how. Uh, I guess the word would be university. University is the French college, right? Like all colleges and universities are just called university, right? Yeah. So university. Yeah. Collage. College. Yeah. So the retroflex is marked on the first retroflex of the root. So instead of writing out all the retroflexes, like this, you just have to worry about writing. God damn it. The first retroflex, unless it is, unless uh, Q is always marked. Oh, see ya, Leo. Might have something to do. Yeah, but phonotactics is oftentimes like where a language is make or break. Okay, so the dual is after the second consonant, there is an een sound. After the second consonant. Oh. And it takes the stress of the word. Oh, big yawn, buddy. And then for the plural, there's just an ah, but it does not take the stress. It is long ah, though. So, noctil, noctil is person, but then naki, nakintel, nakitel, nakitel is two people. Naka, nakatil, nakatil, nakatil is people in general. And then the indirect is marked with a prefix before the first consonant. So is that, except it has a nasal that merges with the following sounds. I mean, to be fair, Alex, those are the most common type of syllable structure in the world. Before the first syllable. So, home. What is my syllables? A consonant, resonant. Okay, so noctil, noctil. Uh, so maybe we list both the direct singular and the indirect plural in the documentation. Let's just make that a simple ah. Unqatil alongside the root. So that seems like a pretty good system to me, and then might be smart to create a dictionary to keep track of words, parts, and meanings. Actually, let's put meanings right after words. Okay, so very first word of the language, naqtil, meaning person. It is a neuter word. Parts, anqatil. And then the root is na, qa, ta, la. You could even have the, I'll leave off the I, so knock. So that is the plural formation.
Can you do anything with dirt?
With dirt? Build a house out of it?
You can't make anything.
One sec, my sister's asking a question. I think you can craft mud out of it, which you can make mud bricks with.
Save my 100 piles of 60-footer.
Oh, it's also great for filling in creeper holes. Oh, it can be used to make coarse dirt. And using a water bottle, a splash water bottle, or lingering water bottle will convert the dirt into mud. Yeah. My sister wishes to apologize to you all. Okay, so that's the... Oh, so consonantal root systems are rare, save for the fact that basically every Afroasiatic language has a consonantal root system of some sort. Afroasiatic. No, it's most pronounced in, say, the Semitic languages, but it still exists in, let's just zoom in here real quick, in the others as well. So if we go down to this table here, you can see how Akkadian Semitic has a triconsonantal root. Berber or Tamazight has the same thing. It's in the Maghreb region of Africa, like Morocco, Algeria. So then Baya, Cushitic, Rondafo, Chadic, and Coptic, Egyptian, all have the same thing. You may be retracting your Hebrew on steroids analogy, but that is actually a fairly good analogy, as Hebrew as a Semitic language has lost a lot of that like extremely irregular triconsonantal system. It still has a triconsonantal root system, but it's unlike Arabic, where every word is irregular. Yes, definitely. Okay, so animate. That's the inanimate distinctions. That's the animate distinctions. Now for the inanimate forms. I think maybe it's just a singular plural distinction. Or it could be collective singular distinction for inanimate objects. Kannst du mir ein Glas Wasser bitte? Oh, danke. Stay hydrated, folks. Winston's making all this racket. Meanwhile, Franklin's just... Okay, so I feel like... Oh my god, Margaret. I feel like I've been overusing collective singulative in my conlangs recently, but it is quite a unusual feature picture for a lot of English speakers, and I just quite like them. So I think the case marking. Yeah, you need glass panes. Singular, dual, trial, quaternal, quintals. Um, I don't think the term for six something is sexual. What? Sectonal? So quintal is obviously five. No, quintal is not five. Uh, quatral. Quadral. So no instance of quadral has been found in any human language, but sextile, yeah, that makes a bit more sexual. What are you doing in that language there, buddy? Types of number. So plural and trial. So trial seems to be mostly limited to agreement and pronouns, while quadral has never been seen. Well, they haven't seen my conlang yet. I go fully up to decimal. Anyway, getting sidetracked. This number system goes up to 11. Well, why not just make 10 louder? But I could, I could, I could just be evil and make the singulative an S, which goes right after the fourth root. So let's think up of a inanimate object. That is very animate unless it's in the freezer. Yeah, let's do a pen. Let's make a word for an apple. Actually, yeah, apple's a better idea. Well, apples are more important than women. Sorry, my sister's egging me on in the corner. Uh, so, uh, so three consonants, three or four consonants to make. We don't even need to make specific consonants. F, s, l, fuslar, 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 apple, fuslar, fuslar. Is it the one in the mine? Yeah, it's annoying. You don't have to mess with it. I'll clean it up when I get on later. Fuslar. Apple inanimate. Fuslar. Fuslar. So, a fuslar. So in other forms, it'll quite easily be a fuslar, fuslar. And maybe this will be an invariable, or it goes back, so hofuslar, hofuslar. Romanization. And no. I I and I'll become a and or when unstressed. Yeah, I'll just leave them like that. Now I'm second guessing myself what I should do. I'm going to. Good job, Margaret. And then the singulative. So this is apple, or just apples. And then to mark a singulative or singular apple, you add an S to the end of the word, and that stays within our phonotactics. Sweet. Well, and welcome back, Kuma. No worries about having to leave in 15 minutes. That's going to be around when the stream ends. I don't. When was the last time you made a comment? It was. I don't have any timestamps there. So what we did so far was we cleaned up the animate table. Yeah. So clean up the animate table, marking where the infixes and prefixes go, or the affixes, and then created the inanimate table, which is a collective singulative distinction, and the singulative is marked with an S at the end of the word. Why? Because I've decided it. Okay, now. Okay, let's see. So we have our animate, inanimate, abstract. I suppose abstract will just be having the prefixes since there's no numeral distinction on them. So that seems so I think That's good for the base of the nouns. And as I create more nouns in the future, we'll figure out if there's any irregularities within them or not, or how they interact with the root structure, and whether they'll be taking the a plural or if they'll have a different plural form. Actually, let's mark that real quick. So plural, singular, plural, indirect plural. And then what's a good word that in many languages is irregular? Apparently, Alex's keyboard is telling him that I have to make the first adjective of this language sexual, or else I will be cursed.
Agreed.
My sister agrees with you. Okay, I will. Part of speech, not piece of shit. Noun, noun, adjective. I will mark that so when I make adjectives, I'll use sexual as the base. I don't believe in curses, but I'm not taking any chances. Okay, so actually that does kind of move. The next thing I'm doing is adjectives after I figure out an irregular noun. What are nouns that one would associate with irregularity? Man, men, woman, women,
Irregularity.
with irregularity.
Nouns.
Nouns.
Poisson. No one knows if it's true.
Poisson or poison?
Croissant.
Poisson.
Croissant.
Croissant.
No one knows this food. Oh. I'm checking this word again.
The new Ancestral Magic Gboard update is crazy, man. Are you trying to write friend? That word? Friend. Freyend. Okay, I'm gonna need masculine and feminine nouns anyways, so I think I'll do. Actually, I can just put the gender in the neuter. Okay, man, woman. I could derive these from the same root, probably, with canatlo, canatle, canatli, canatli, canatla. Yeah, consonant resonance. So canatli, canatla. They underwent metathesis in the language. You leaving me?
No, I want this to stand up.
And so these are masculine and feminine nouns, and they'll probably have irregular plurals of some Sort. No.
I'm standing.
Nuclei. Nuclei.
Not out when it's standing.
No, Alex, your phone hates you. I'm sorry to break it to you, but it hates your guts. Okay, so nuclei, nuclei, but then unkinkly, unkinkly, unkinkly. I am making sexual the first adjective. Don't curse me, Alex's keyboard. Please. Hi, Tonton. Hi.
Don't step on Franklin. Don't step on Franklin.
Franklin will just hiss at her and then.
That will just smell her.
Okay, so. So this is a pretty interesting irregularity I've got here, but I think you guys can see where the irregularity comes from. Katala, the first ka is deleted, leaving just kli, tla, so on and so forth. Okay, so before I go, my door's open, Margaret, do you mind closing it?
Stay.
Okay, before I go, we'll create these words. So I need a root for to have sex or sexual related stuff. Let's make this 3 characters, something like sa, see what sound, sa, ga, ma, thugma. Oh my god, I just did the meme. No! No! No, don't! The sexual man eats a sexual apple. Okay, that will be the first sense of this language, I guess. And I'm attributing it to uh, donated by Alex Z. Great. Yes, it's Sugma. I'm making it Sugma. I'm using a C though. Sugma. And then should we have it? Some languages have their adjectives be a completely separate thing from nouns and verbs unless they derive from them. But some adjectival systems mirror the nouns or the verbs. So, like in East Asia, adjectives are most often take the same patterns as verbs, while in Indo-European languages, they often take the same pattern as nouns. So, should we have Afroasiatic languages also have the adjectives resemble nouns? So, should we have our adjectives resemble verbs, or should we have them resemble nouns? That is the real question.
To be a verb or not to be a verb?
That's literally just to be or not to be.
That is the question.
Okay. Uh, hmm. What should
You need to get iron when you come.
okay. I think I'm gonna make them resemble nouns. I think that is the way I will go. So, sugum, sigum. So, sexual is the word sigum. Oh my god. Sigum. And so, and because it has to agree with the nouns, it has to take on the various forms. I need to create sigma. Okay, I need to create a work with the other forms. Zigin, ziginma, ziginum. Maybe there's a in trilateral roots. There's a T is inserted, making zigot zigotum. See come. Is that what you're thinking of? See come? Yeah, this person's trying hard not to say it. Atskam. Atskam. I did say it, not you, but you were thinking it. You can't get away from that. Atziga, Atzgatum. Oh God, Atzgatum. Got him. God, this. I did not want to make this language curse, but now it is. Thank you, guys. Houtscom. Actually, I heard you, Margaret. I need to replace those with H's. So, yes, I support uh, intrusive thoughts. There we go. Okay, so there are the adjectives that agree. I mean, probably to the extent as they'll share roots, and there might be some suffixes that turn certain verbs into adjectives if that root's already taking an adjectival slot. He opened the door. English is the only not language where what happens? Actually, so this is for neuter nouns. Adjectives might just be the most inflected thing within the language. Sigma, schema, schema. So this is for masculine. Yeah, it's not that rare of a thing. I mean, in German and a lot of languages, Indo-European languages, the adjectives have lost the noun-like quality as time goes on. Like, especially the Western Italic languages and many of the Germanic languages, they've just become their own thing. Um, oh, this is going to have stress on the first syllable. Oh, Western Roman, Western Romance. Italic is the higher up on the tree. What? Italic is just the ones in Italy at the moment, right? Or the old ones from, yeah, here we go. Uh, Proto-Italic, so Western Romance languages. Atskam, Atskima, Atskana, Atskana. These are the feminine forms. And then the neuter forms of the masculine forms. Replace the final A with an E. And then the inanimate forms, which I think I'll just create real quick before getting off because it is coming up to the end of the day. Oh, you guys made a lot of comments. maybe I was too hasty to say the adjectives in Western Romance have become less noun-like. Maybe that is just a maybe that is just an English thing in Europe. But thinking about the what adjectives in German, they are very much their own thing. They're more like to just determiners in general than either nouns or verbs. Okay, Alex, here are two. So the sexual man, Gnatli, Gnatli, Sigmi. Then I'm going to have adjectives come after their nouns. And then apple would be fuslar, 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 sigum. Sexual man and sexual apple. So we have a basis to look off our adjectives from. We have our noun forms as the basis of it. I guess next time we should figure out if we're going to have definite or indefinite things. That would be pretty. Hi, Franklin. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was going to do that next time, but I can probably just figure out real quick right now. But I'm wondering if I should do definite marked on the noun and it agrees with the adjective, like in Arabic and Hebrew, or if I should just have one definite article that spans the. You're voting no articles. That is something that can happen. But as I've been thinking about this language, I have been thinking about it as a kind of. Franklin! As this is kind of like a liturgical language to me, and in my mind, liturgical languages oftentimes have articles like, well, Arabic, Hebrew, Greek. Latin didn't, but it quickly developed them in later stages of Vulgar Latin going into the Romance languages. And I don't think I want to have both articles. One form will be an unmarked, with probably the definite itself being marked. So maybe, yeah, that's what I was thinking about if we should have that or not. I mean, it could just be part of the animate sphere. And, hmm, The not Tigme, the mansexual. Okay, I'll figure this out before the next stream, which unfortunately will not be next week. I will not be streaming next Wednesday or Friday as I am traveling. So, you didn't miss much, Huma, just considering what to do for definite or indefinite articles or not. But either way, the stream is over, and I will see some of you Friday, maybe Monday, and if not, I'll see y'all in 2 weeks. Until then, I bid y'all adieu. I never